next we have some redistricting bills, which again, this is not, the substance is really not the concern of this committee. The concern is there the $1.1 billion? And indeed, it is in both budgets. However, I understand there's an amendment that needs to be put on. Senator Barker?
Right, so if someone says...
Yes, Madam Chair. We just had a meeting of the Privileges and Election Commission committee on the House side, which did pass the constitutional amendment related to redistricting and the budget, the ballot language for the provision that would be on the ballot in November. I've talked with Delegate Price. She's had a bill that was sort of trying to walk a fine line between being helpful if it was part of if the constitutional amendment passed, but also being a standalone commission if the constitutional amendment did not. She has a substitute which I think makes sense to trying to sort of make it fit with the constitutional amendment, and I'm supportive of her being able to move forward with that, although it's not part of the money thing. And so what we do is have that. This is 1256, House Bill 1256.
Thank you.
And so what we would do is adopt the substitute that she has, and then be able to pass that on tonight to get it to the floor. And she and I are going to, along with some others, are going to look over that over the next day or two and make sure that it makes logical sense and everything. So we've dealt with all the issues.
And Madam Chair.
Yes.
And I just have one additional point. It also helps to, by working in tandem, it helps to resolve some of the timeline issues that put the integrity of the elections at risk for whatever the mechanism is, providing a fail-safe also if the amendment were not to pass at referendum.
Okay, we have a substitute in front of us. Is there a motion?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. We adopt the substitute. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay, substitute's adopted.
So Senator Barker or Delegate Price, can you tell me what the differences are in the substitute from when we passed it out of P&E?
Yes, so basically it allows for the work to begin July 1st. And so there would be, under any circumstance, whether the amendment failed or passed at referendum, or if the voters fail to pass it or pass it, if the voters were to fail to pass the referendum, then the advisory commission would go forward. And if the voters were to pass the referendum, then the work that had been done prior can continue under the new body that was established at the passing of the referendum. And that's how it helps, Madam Chair and Senator Deeds, that's how it helps with the timeline issue that we're with the language of the amendment. Oh, and I'm sorry, I do want to clarify, because I do remember, Madam Chair, that when Senator Deeds Chairman Deeds was overseeing the conversation, there was mention of some of the parts of the bill 1256 that would have been unconstitutional if the constitutional amendment were to pass. And there are some amendments there to take those parts out so that we wouldn't have an unconstitutional bill before us.
Have we adopted the substitute, Madam Chair?
Yes. Yes, we have. My suggestion would be that we pass all four of these bills in block, if you'd like, to get them to the floor where we can decide which is the best. Is there a motion to do?
I make a motion to report the two Price bills and the two Van Valkenburg bills.
Second.
In a block. So.
Okay. It's been moved and seconded that House Bill 1255, House Bill 1256, House Bill 758, and House Bill 784 be passed in block. All in favor, please vote aye. Opposed, no.
14 ayes, 0 nays.
14 ayes, 0 nays.